It's nice that our cameraman's so involved.
Shall I do it? Nerd!
I'm taking an interest in my craft.
Well, quite right too. I agree and applaud. But like, whenever I take an interest in Warhammer or strategy games, everyone's all like, nerd.
I made a two videos about you this week. Filmed 2 videos. Not once did I call you a nerd.
Quite right too. Alright YouTube, I'm Rich.
And I'm Miguel Al, back again with another episode of the Weekend Escape.
Yes indeed, this is the show where we catch you up on everything that we've learned over the past week.
Yep, for instance, I've learned that eating an apple a day doesn't in fact keep the doctor away, because I've been eating 3 a day now for a week, and every time I turn a corner there's always a doctor just standing there, really kind of just...
Alright, so that's weird. I did mean everything we learned about in the past week of PC gaming. Like, I mean every week on this show that we do.
Oh, like, yes. Yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry.
That is strange though. Do you need to get this doctor thing checked out?
Nah, every time I try and approach them, they just disappear into a puff of smoke. So I think it's fine, yeah.
Okay, and you've been away for a week and you've forgotten about the show that we do.
Yeah, I should probably see a doctor about that.
Look at the time. It's time for the news. So, what's going on in the world of current affairs this week, Alice?
You will never guess who wants to voice the Junker Queen in Overwatch.
Well, since Junkertown is in Australia, I'm going to use logic and deduce that it's a famous Australian actor. I'm guessing Margot Robbie, true chameleon of modern cinema. She'd be fantastic.
No, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You got to think queens.
What, Liz wants the role?
No, drag queens. Jinx Monsoon, the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 5, has said on Twitter that they'd love to do the voiceover for the Junker Queen. Their friend even drew some fan art of Jinx dressed as the character. Well,
hopefully it's only a matter of time until the Junker Queen appears as a playable character in Overwatch. But hang on, Junker Queen already has a voiceover actor.
Stop ruining people's dreams, Rich. Sashay away.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So let's move on to PUBG, which is getting armoured vehicles.
Armoured vehicles? That sounds a bit OP.
Well, so it may prove, but at least everybody gets a crack at one. They're available in PUBG's new event mode, Metal Rain, which also adds the flare guns that were data mined a little while back. Those flare guns will spawn like normal weapon drops, and if you fire one while you're outside the safe zone, you'll get an armoured car. If you're inside the safe zone, you'll get a normal supply drop instead. The event is set on the Erangel map, and it features up to 12 squads of 8 players. It's live now and will run until 7 PM Pacific, which is 3 AM BST, on Monday evening. Anyway, enough about PUBG, let's talk about one of my favourite games. Giant Slayers are coming to Total War Warhammer next month. Now these are special dwarf units which use great axes, which probably means they're armour piercing. They're also Slayers, which means they're anti-large. So these will be your ace in the hole if you come up against Total War Warhammer's biggest, nastiest Bruce. More importantly, the fact that they're coming in the May update, which is for Total War Warhammer 2, and yet they're content for Total War Warhammer 1. So it's encouraging that all Total War Warhammer's original races are still getting support. You can expect much more for the dwarves, according to Creative Assembly, and probably for the other vanilla races as well.
Oh my god, that went on for so long! Nothing else to add?
Well, in the tabletop game, Giant Slayers are upgraded versions of the regular old Slayers.
No. Save it for your Total War videos, because
Will do.
If you love Saw so much, have you ever played For Honor?
No, actually, I never tried it when it came out, and I expect if I were to jump in now a year after launch, everyone else would be so good that I'd get stomped.
Well, that's where the latest update comes in, because the new Apprentice and Warrior trials are training tutorials. They're a little bit like Rainbow Six's situations. They each focus on very specific skills and teach you how to make the most of them. From basics like guard breaks to Philly assassination techniques and the all-powerful feint, the trials really help you master the key combat abilities. They probably should have included these at launch, but better late than never.
Sure, yeah, that does sound useful. Thinking of swords and axes, I really wish I could play the new God of War game, but it's a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and weirdly my PS4 went missing the day I started working at PCGamesN.
Yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Well, I'm going to be playing it this weekend on the PS4 I absolutely definitely bought for myself a year and a half ago, but perhaps you could play one of these PC games that are like God of War instead.
Perhaps I could. This year's God of War trades the series' traditional hack and slash gameplay for much heavier third-person brawling. But we've had something like that for over a year now, Ubisoft's For Honor. This ambitious Knights vs Vikings vs Samurai fever dream features detailed fight mechanics that really emphasize the skills of sword combat. It's primarily a multiplayer game, but it does have a story campaign, and it's overflowing with decapitations, impalements, and crushed skulls. Playing as various characters from the 3 factions, you'll face off against the armies of the absurdly named Apollyon, as she attempts to foment an unwinnable everlasting war. This almost certainly means there's no time to have babies, so an analogue of God of War's new child's sidekick is absolutely nowhere to be seen. There's no glory in babysitting, after all.
In Kratos' latest adventure, he's run out of Greek gods to brutally decimate, and so he's moved on to the Norse pantheon. If Vikings and snow are your kind of thing, then you need to take a look at Hellblade, Ninja Theory's multiple award-winning Nordic-inspired tragedy. The latest God of War may have gone all gritty and serious, but it's got nothing on Hellblade. It's an exploration of the psyche of protagonist Senua, who's locked in a perpetual battle with psychosis. Voices in her head aim to deter both her and you at every step of her journey. This makes her quest to rescue the soul of her lover from the goddess Hela all the more haunting. On the way, you'll find a collective of otherworldly creatures, solve puzzles, and hold back the curse that threatens to murder Senua from the inside. Yep, it's heavy stuff. As heavy as Thor's hammer Mjolnir, in fact.
The original God of War games are widely considered some of the best of the hack and slash genre, but do you know who else does hack and slash really well? Platinum Games. Bayonetta is considered the peak of impossibly paced violence, and the best version can be found right on Steam. With a silky smooth 60 frames per second frame rate and HD visuals sharper than any of Kratos' blades, you can admire Bayonetta's gothically grotesque aesthetic in all its feathery glory on PC. Bayonetta is a witch capable of using her hair to summon demons. Yes, if you thought God of War's deity-battering plot was bananas, it's logically sound compared to Bayonetta. The story draws inspiration from Dante's The Divine Comedy, sending Bayonetta on a journey through various hellish realms. On the way, she spends much of her time shooting angels in the face, using guns that she keeps in her shoes. No, we're not making any of this up, and yes, it's really as good as it sounds.
God of War was originally created to prove that Western developers could do combat as well as Japanese studios. At the time, the most coveted of Japan's slick combat systems could be found in Devil May Cry. Several years later, another Western studio decided to try their hands at Japanese-style combat, but this time they'd take much more than just inspiration from Devil May Cry. British studio Ninja Theory made DMC, a distinctly non-Eastern version of Dante's story, but with just as much flair as Capcom's original. In this version, Dante is transformed from impossibly cool demon slayer to a punk youth brimming with attitude. Rather than a story constructed from melodrama, DMC's plot appears to have taken a dose of hallucinogens from the moment you selected Start on the main menu. This may sound like a recipe for disaster, but DMC's unique style and incredibly showy, punchy combat combine to create one of the greatest hack and slash games of the last generation. Looks like Western studios really can match Japan at their own game.
In Rise of the Tomb Raider, the sequel to the 2013 reboot of the series, Lara starts off her journey on a treacherous climb up a steep and snowy mountain. Snow, eh? Eh? Like in God of War's new Nordic landscapes? Anyway, an avalanche nearly causes her to fall to her death, and that's the least of her problems. Lara goes on the hunt for the divine source, something her father was seeking before he died in his quest for immortality. See, there's a dad in this game too. Okay, so he might be dead, but he's a main plot point for our protagonist's story. And something else Rise of the Tomb Raider does that's very similar to God of War are the hub areas, where you can set up a camp and easily backtrack to places you've ventured before, to allow for deeper exploration after you've gained better equipment. See, it is like the new God of War. Just because it's got guns doesn't mean they're worlds apart. Now it's time for us, the Weekend Escape hosts, to tell you, the people at home, what's going cheap on Steam.
GOG.com!
Oh, really? That's a curveball.
Yeah, I know, but they're currently hosting a sale for the most wanted games. All the games you've ever wanted are on sale right now until the 23rd of April.
Nice. I expect there are some good deals here.
Yeah, there's some pretty sweet bargains.
So I see you've got the Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, listed down there on the auto queue.
Yeah, I have. That's actually a really decent bar.
Dece!
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, it's short for decent.
I understand this. I understand bargain is short for bargain. I understand this. But why do you have to say these words? Why do you have to do this to our language?
Well, why not?
too many reasons to list, Alice. Anyway, look, The Witcher 3 has 60% off at the moment, which is a really great deal.
Yes, it is. It's also the Game of the Year edition too, meaning it has all the expansions and extra content.
I'm sure the people will know all about The Witcher 3, but if you've been living under a rock for the past few years, let me tell you a little bit about The Witcher. You play as a very handsome monster slayer, Geralt, who has superhuman skills. You must go up against a whole number of different types of enemies, have the opportunity to romance a whole number of different characters, and play many games of Gwent, the game's wonderful card game. It's an adventure RPG. It's
a beautiful looking game too, so make sure you have hairworks turned on because Geralt can easily look like a shampoo model.
So very true. What have we got next?
Super Hot, which has got 50% off at the moment. It's a brilliant idea for a game where time only moves if you move. So you wouldn't be very good at this because you fidget a lot.
Rude. I'm great at all games, but you're right, I do fidget a lot.
Honestly, when am I wrong? You have to shoot red glass-looking men in sanitary-looking white rooms. Using a variety of weapons, you have to use your brain to figure out your enemy's next moves before you move, so that time is on your side. There are no health bars, no ammo drops, but there are some super cool replays so you can watch back your sweet moves.
Sweet moves.
Yeah, it's understandable you don't know what that means, but I'll explain later. It took 30 months to make, had a hugely successful Kickstarter campaign, and has gone on to win a whole bunch of awards.
You're being absolutely savage today.
Am I being a little nightmare?
You know, come to mention it, actually, oh, this is a segue, isn't it?
Yeah, Little Nightmares is on sale with 60% off.
Alright, fair play, good segue.
Thanks, I thought so.
So, Little Nightmares only came out last year, but it quickly proved itself to be an excellent game. It's an immersive action-adventure platformer which will take you on a ride through a dark and quaint story that brings you up close and personal with your childhood fears.
Oh god, childhood fears.
Yeah, lucky for me, I'm so old I don't remember any of my childhood fears.
Wait, was that a self-burn?
Alright, well you wrote it, I just have to say it.
That's actually quite true. A lot like this next bit.
No, don't tell. You can't make me say it again.
No, Rich, what's up next?
Patch notes!
And now it's time for TLDR. This is the part of the show where we make patch notes that little bit more exciting.
Like they need it.
Because they do. And you are going to be running us through everything that's new that's coming to Call of Duty World War II.
I am.
In 10 seconds.
I am.
And you're going to nail it.
Well, yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so they've added the Blitzkrieg community event. There's 4 players in ranked play, 4-player parties in ranked play now. There's a new themed HQ. There's a new paint shop. There's an overhaul to divisions.
Oh, and you're done.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
I think I've forgotten the 6th anyway, so that's kind of redundant. I'm playing with them. Why is the set different?
Why is the set different?
Why is the
I don't know.
Why is the clapperboard over there? I'm sure that won't prove to be imminently relevant.
How cool does it look, though? Am I right?
Yeah, sure. So, Alice, you're going to run the people through Paladins.
I am.
Also got a new patch in 3, 2, 1, go.
So there's a new hero Khan, overhauled customization menu, fixed shadows appearing through walls, new loading screen art, fixed the free champion rotation, and added global sprays.
I see now why that was there. It's sort of like, is it Chekhov's gun, where if you introduce a gun, you have to make it relevant later in the plot? Like if there's a clapperboard, it has to be used. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, good. We obeyed that key rule of drama.
Scene!
Well, the rich fan mail section comes around so quickly these days, doesn't it?
It's not called that.
Carry on.
It's never been called that, and it will never be called that.
It's worth a shot though, right?
Sure, I can't blame you for trying. Although this week, every comment is on one of your videos, so it seems like you genuinely do have some fans.
Well, I mean, can we call it Rich's fan mail this week then?
No, and slightly changing the order of those words isn't going to make it happen.
Fine. What's up first?
So on your Total War Lizardmen guide, Sam501 says, "Only just discovered you, these are great."
Ah, shucks. If you had a close-up of me right now, you'd see I'm blushing.
Well, your cheeks are going to stay pretty pink for a little bit longer because in your 9 tips for Total War Warhammer 2 video, Baden to R says, "Great tips! Thanks, Pierce Brosnan."
Thank you, Baden to R. They are great tips, if I say so myself.
And you do look like Pierce Brosnan.
I was going to ignore that bit.
Look, you're just going to have to deal with it. You also got compared to Dennis from It's Always Sunny on that same video, so...
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that one. I just want to be my own person, Alice.
Yeah, well, the problem is, you have one of those...
faces?
Yeah, one of those faces.
One of those faces that looks like many different faces?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's more of a talent, if anything.
Yeah, well, when you put it that way.
Yeah, I thought that myself on the blow a little bit.
This last comment is perhaps one of my favourites though. On my Who is Arkan the Black video, Francois Neathlong says, "Ha ha ha! Who did Rich have to pay off to get his own little segment? Or are you doing this behind Alice's back?" Really enjoyed the video though, good on you mate.
Wait, what? When did you get your own show?
Good joke, Alice. Yep, good one.
No,
yep.
I'm deadly serious, Rich. I can't believe you've gone behind my back to do a show about Total War. At least tell me you called it something funny.
Yeah, actually we have. We've gone with Total Law.
Oh, okay. A totally awesome name then.
So it's fine, is it, that I've got my own show?
Of course it is, Rich. I was totally kidding. I knew all about it.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Phew.
It's good to keep you on your toes, though, isn't it?
And on that note, I think it's time to end the show.
Well, it's good to be back, Rich. I've missed this.
Missed what? Keeping me on my toes?
Oh yeah, you can put your feet back on the ground properly now. It's actually only a figure of speech.
I never know with you.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's giveaway announcement time.
Yes, that's right. And congratulations to Craig Moon, who's won an awesome Assassin's Creed travel mug and non-travel mug.
Yeah.
We've already been in touch about getting your winnings to you.
Yep, and this week we've got a Creed t-shirt, water bottle, and flannel to give away, alongside an awesome giveaway for Dead in Vinland that's happening over on PCGamesN.com this week. There are 20 codes up for grabs.
So don't say we don't spoil you.
Because we definitely do.
We do. And so now, spoil us in return, please. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you next week.
Same place, same time.
Play Total War Warhammer.
Oh my god. Oh, that just came out of nowhere.
I was really enjoying that, Rich. Can we go again?
It came to a natural end.